Hello everyone and happy Halloween!
I have been decorating a Halloween house room by room in my shorts during the month of October, and now that all of the rooms are done, it's time to put them together as a family home. I went for a classic color scheme of purple, orange and black, and I mixed in some other colors such as red and grey here and there. The style of the rooms themselves is contemporary. Most of them have modern furniture against traditional wallpaper, and they included plenty of Halloween decorations and some occult items, but I was thinking that these are just human themes who love fantasy, Halloween and horror films. I decorated 9 rooms for the house, so there's a kitchen, a dining room, a living room and an office, as well as bedrooms for the parents, one for the teenager and one for the child, plus a bathroom and a laundry room. I made a playlist where you can watch the stop motion process of each room coming together. It will be linked down in the description so that you can find that easily and watch them in more detail, but for this video we'll just go ahead and start assembling this build.
So as usual, the first thing I did was that I separated the rooms that I knew I wanted to be on the ground floor, and I wanted to have the living room and the dining room facing each other. I had some trouble when moving these rooms around because some of the items disappeared. For example, the kitchen lost a shelf, so I had to go get it, and add the sugar skull that I had in there originally. I did that a bit during this build, and I didn't show all of it because I felt it was getting a bit repetitive, and I made sure to still have it all in the final version that I am uploading to the gallery, which, by the way, you can find under my ID, which is Veranio, and it's also on the screenshots, and you should have seen it during my intro. I had a lot of fun making that intro. I normally have a family or a household when I'm building this so that I can do an intro with some sims. And I thought it was really fun to pick the God family and have them dressed in sort of more normal clothes. I didn't want a fancy version of them, I just wanted a more, normal version of them, which I felt was funny. I had fun dressing them up again and everything. I don't know, maybe I should upload them to the gallery. I think it could be fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed making that intro. Now we are adding some of the rooms upstairs. I thought about having the office up there for a bit, but I decided to have it in front of the house, and the laundry room is in the downstairs as well. I don't actually have more than one bathroom in here. I normally add a bathroom when I'm making these houses, but this time it didn't work out that way. I have a bathroom and a half. I just have a room with its own toilet, which I think is something that you might find. You definitely see it in Europe, and you see it sometimes in Australia, I think. But I couldn't fit a sink in there. The sink is pretty nearby, so it shouldn't be problematic. And I think that it's still better than not having that half bathroom. Or you could also just make the laundry room into a bathroom. That could also work. Or you could maybe stack the washing and dryer machines. Or you could not have a cat or move the litter box maybe underneath the stairs. There's options if you really want to have 2 bathrooms in here. But here in the hallway I decided to add a bar, which I thought was a cool thing. I added the small one from Lovestruck, which comes in purple, so it's so cute and it fits with the style of the house. And I also added a gargoyle, which I thought was really fun. And I added that light from Lovestruck, which you can use for art pieces. And I thought that it was really, really cool. I hadn't used it, and I'm happy that I finally did. I added a similar light to this staircase area, and I also wanted to use the Reaper's Rewards items. So I have the portrait of Mimsy, which looks like it has been burnt in one of the corners. I also added the gramophone, and the bike is outside. And I just think that these items are super cool. I'm really glad to have them, even if the event has a few shortcomings, I suppose. I didn't add the coffin, but I didn't think it would make sense to add it unless it was outside as a decoration. But I actually ended up having a very small backyard. I started building it in this very large lot where I filmed all of the shorts, but I ended up moving it to Evergreen Harbor in one of the suburban areas, so it's a 20 by 15 lot. It's pretty small. You could of course also have it in a different a different lot if you wanted some more backyard space. But I wanted to have it there. I have now added a couple of windows and made sure that I wasn't missing those items. I added that gramophone in the dining room, and I also wanted to have this runner rug here in this hallway. I am adding the one from vampires. I used a bunch of items from vampires, werewolves, Realm of Magic, Seasons of course, and paranormal. I didn't actually use the spooky day stuff pack because I don't have it, but I was very happy with what I was able to do. Actually, there's a Halloween plushie that comes with the free holiday pack. It has a collection. That's a very cool pack. If you don't have it, I would recommend for you to download it. It's very thematic, but it has some interesting items that you can use all year round, like some string lights and those plushies as well. But now we have already moved this house into this lot. It's called Canal Corner, and it's in Evergreen Harbor, as I had mentioned. I knew that it was going to be a bit tight, but I was also able to include a car here in the front, which I thought was also a realistic thing. Although I think it's funny that I tried to have this house be somewhat realistic, because it's a black house with some orange and purple accents. I really enjoy doing that though. I am using this wallpaper from Lovestruck, which looks like it's some painted concrete. It's the kind of texture that you will see in many houses here in Mexico, whether they be more traditional or modern. So I thought that it was cool. I really wanted to have this be a modern house because last year I made a similar concept to this. It was a house that was decorated for Halloween. It has a bit of a different color scheme and vibe because it was also more of a suburban house that you might find in the United States. And I really liked it, but I had already done that kind of thing, so I wanted to have this one be more of a contemporary home. That's why I also picked that door, and actually you can see that it's kind of off-center with the window. I did fix that. I do have them centered in the screenshots and in the version that I am uploading to the gallery. And I also wanted to have the roof be just flat and have some dimension by changing the heights of these platforms. And I hadn't done that in a while, and I was very happy with the result. I also have a couple of terraces and balconies, and yeah, I thought that was a very cool way of having this concept be different to the way that I had done it last year. That's that car that I had mentioned. I was very happy to find an orange car. And you might notice that there's a weird glitch in front of this house. The surroundings look like there's a gap, and I don't know what that is. I don't know how to fix it. I don't think that was there a few months ago. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was weird. But I wanted to have some sort of planter space here in the front. I have these lavender plants, which I really love. I love the smell of lavender, and I think that they're beautiful, and I've lived in houses that have lavender in front, so I like that. It's also purple, so it fit with this idea. And I also added some decorations from Seasons. I didn't add the ones from the attic decoration box. I did include the box though, so you could easily add them to the fences and that kind of thing, maybe to the foundation. I might add them though, because I haven't taken all of these screenshots yet, so maybe I will. Maybe you will see that there. You can also see the normal version that has those decorations that I added by hand. I really liked adding those spider webs and this kind of sign. I had never used that sign, so I thought that it was fun to do that. Also, the mailbox has the same color scheme and the spider. I thought that was very cool. And I also really enjoyed having these lanterns. I do flip them around so that they face the outside. They have a pumpkin and I think it's a skull. So I really wanted to add those. I also got a lot of this process of adding the staircase in here because I was really struggling to do that. It was just, I don't know if it was glitchy or if maybe this was a bit too small, so I didn't have a lot of space to make these stairs go in a different direction. But eventually I figured it out and I have it in this way. The walking space is going to be a bit tight because I do have that fence. And this is the purple that I used. I think that I only used one from the base game because the one from Lovestruck had the right texture, but it was a bit too bright and it looked almost blue. So it wasn't what I wanted it to be for this house. I also decided to size down these lanterns so that they could fit a bit better in this space. As I said, it's kind of tight. I also wanted to have a fire pit in this area, so yeah, it gets a bit tight in that corner. I also have some planters, so you could have a couple of plants just growing in here, and I made sure to add a couple of gates to this area. I have one in each of the sides of this space, and I also wanted to have a couple more spider webs. I have them in both levels in this purple area. I did size down the ones that I have in the top portion of this, and I ended up adding a door actually centered in that space, so from the child's bedroom you can actually access this balcony area. And I just thought it was really fun to add items into this space that would be so seasonal. You could probably change the swatches of many of these items and have it be decorated for Christmas or Thanksgiving or some other holiday or maybe a different season. I don't know if it would be a lot of work because of the pumpkins and those items that don't have like swatches that work for different holidays. But things like these lanterns that I added in this kind of planter, you could definitely change the swatches to those. I really liked adding them there. I think it's a cute little detail, and they actually add a lot of lighting in this area at night. I did add a bunch of other lights in here so that you could actually see what was going on at night in this space. I think that I probably placed this house backwards. I'm not sure because I don't know what was supposed to be in that area that is glitching. You could flip it around if you wanted. It shouldn't be too... I hope it wouldn't get rid of many items. But yeah, I often place houses that are built by other people, and even if they use packs that I don't have, and then I just redecorate them just using what I do have or making it fit the Sims that I want to live in those houses. I think that's how I got into decorating houses actually. I wasn't very good at it for a very long time, but when I started doing that and seeing how other people use the items and the space and the floor plan, I really learned a lot from that. And I would recommend it to people who want to start building and don't know how to. Of course, you can also check some floor plans from real houses, and I do watch videos of builders and you can get lots of ideas from that. But I think that if you are scared to start, you could also get a house with items you don't have and just change them out for different ones, or yeah, make them suit you. And I think that's a great thing to do. Here in the child's bedroom, I accidentally had put this up on a platform. I do end up making it so that it's on the same level as the rest of the upstairs. But it was making it a bit different to add a door because I did want to keep these cards that look like they have been made by a child. And I actually used a door and a window from Lovestruck because I wanted to have this be... I wanted it to be a shorter door, and I actually did size down this lamp so that it's not so in the way. I don't show it, but I did, and it's still functional even with the window. Sims can just walk through it. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween, and I hope to see you again soon.